Are you ready?
Oh, yeah!
Strap yourselves in for the Gaming Hub. With your hosts, Tyler.
You can't handle the truth!
Graham.
The force is strong in this way.
And Steven.
You cannot be serious!
Let's get started.
Alrighty then.
Hey everybody, and welcome into the Gaming Hub. This is episode number 108. I'm your host, Tyler Sink. Thank you so much for joining us. And joining me this week, our two co-hosts, as always. Let's start with Graham. Graham, tonight, special night for you. It's the NHL Draft. I want to confirm it is the draft. It probably looks weird because the Leafs didn't get to pick in the first, 10 minutes. But
Yes.
how are you?
I'm doing good. Like I said, with the draft, because I was looking up, I'm like, when is Toronto's pick? And I really don't know when their pick is. So it's nice to see that I don't need to care that much as I did prior seasons. But
Yeah.
I'm doing good. I played some Jurassic World Evolution this week, and I am quite enjoying that game. I'm not sure why all the negative, I didn't read up a lot on it, but what I was reading, there's some people that were bashing on it. But so far, I am enjoying it. So maybe I just haven't put in that amount of time. But no, super fun for anybody out there that's wondering. I did stream it once. People stopped in and checked out. Appreciate that. Keep watching. I might stream it again because that game is lots of fun. And if you guys like that, then it'll be there for you.
So Graham's selling it short right now because I watched part of your stream, Graham, and man, there were some moments in there that were really actually funny and made me laugh. And they were unintentionally funny, like you weren't trying to do that,
Yes.
but you released a Triceratops out, and did you not? You didn't put up a fence.
No.
So the thing, and you named it Sarah, right? Cera, right?
Yes.
And I watched this thing, and it takes off stampeding down the sidewalk, mowing people over. And all of a sudden it just sees water, and it just darts off to the right and starts drinking. And Graham's desperately trying to quickly build this fence around it while it's drinking water. It's funny, and it's a cool game. Steve, welcome. And I know you played a little bit of this game too. What are your thoughts, and how are you?
I'm good. I don't like it as much as Graham does. I can see how this game could get old quickly. It's kind of just repeating the same missions over and over and over again. But I mean, it's cool because you get to make a park full of dinosaurs, and that's just kind of awesome in and of itself. And other than that, I've been playing. Today I picked up Mario Tennis Aces and got a few minutes into that. I like it. It's fun. It's fun. Not bad. I want to play some online. I think will be where the real fun is. And I picked up Hollow Knight on a recommendation from Sandman in Discord. I heard about the game on PC, but it came to Switch, and I was like, it's only $15. I'll pick it up. And I put an hour and a half, 2 hours into it, and I'm absolutely loving the game. It is awesome. Highly recommend to anyone who likes Metroidvania type games. It's got great artwork and sound, so I'm really looking forward to putting more hours into that this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. So
What have you been playing, Tyler?
I played a little bit of MLB this week. I watched Graham play Jurassic World. Steve, we tried to play Dead Space 3
We did.
in the past week. And yeah, that game I don't know if it just hasn't aged well or it's not what I remember. But man, I love Dead Space 1 and 2. And I didn't finish 3 the first time around, and now I kind of remember why. It was sort of disappointing, and maybe it's just it hasn't aged well. I don't know.
Yeah, it has not aged well. I downloaded it. We played for what, hour, maybe,
Yeah, we played an hour.
and then I quickly deleted it.
Yep.
Just gone, eh?
Yeah, it's gone.
Not on there anymore.
Yep. So that was a little disappointing because Dead Space is such a good series, and I was secretly hopeful that we'd hear a new Dead Space game at E3 this year, but that's EA, and they're not going to deliver something fun like that. But
yeah.
Anyway, I've been good. Happy to be back again. It's the week after E3 now, so I think all of us were still recovering to a degree over the course of this week, but ready to go. And because it's the week after E3, everybody, there's not a whole lot of news. So, but we have some stuff to talk about. But before we get to that, I want to invite everybody out there to join our community, and that's whether you're listening on iTunes, Castbox, Pocket Cast, or you're joining us on Dash Radio. If you are, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Or if you're listening on the XboxHub.com, appreciate that as well. We are the official podcast of the XboxHub.com, where you can go and get all of your latest gaming news in the world of Xbox. So we want to invite you to join the community. Head on over to Facebook, look up the Gaming Hub forums there. When you're there, you'll see a link to our Discord, which has been growing pretty quickly, so that's awesome. We thank everybody who's joined. Hit that and join that community as well. We invite you to go on to Twitch, where we're broadcasting live right now with our episode, and follow us there. TXH Gaming Hub on Twitch. Again, TXH Gaming Hub. And there's links to Discord and Facebook and everywhere else right there on that page, right below the screen where you would see the video. You can also follow us on Twitter at TXH Gaming Hub, and we have a YouTube channel, which within the next week or so, we're going to start bringing out some cool kind of new types of content from what we've been doing. Not new in the grand scheme of the world, but new for us. And I think it's going to be pretty fun. So it'll be kind of different type of stuff, and I think it'll be a little bit more relevant than what we've been doing on that channel. But you can head on over there as well, the Gaming Hub podcast on YouTube. All right. Guys, let's get into what little news there is this week. And, Graham, we're going to start with one of your absolute favorite series. And we're not going to stay on it long. Promise you, everybody. But NHL 19 was announced at the NHL Awards this week. Really awkward announcement, by the way, on stage. I watched it live.
I didn't.
Yeah, but of note, PK Subban is the cover athlete this year, which kind of cool. From Steve's favorite team, the Nashville Predators.
Yeah,
and
I don't like the Predators, but I do love PK Subban. He's one of my favorite players, so I'm okay with it.
All right, cool. And it's introducing a couple new things, like a pond hockey mode and stuff like that, a bunch more customization for your created player, things like that. So, Graham, you're always super hyped for it. And you're always the one, because all three of us love this franchise. So, you're always the one that's like, when we're like, oh man, I don't know, you're the one that's like, no, I'm going to be optimistic, it's going to be awesome. So, what were your first impressions of the trailer and the announcement?
Well, as always, their trailer don't show a lot. Like, they kind of give you a hint of what they're going to introduce and stuff like that, and then they give you the hoopla, like, all new game mechanics, introducing new and all that stuff. But the big thing that stood out is they're going to do, like, outside, like, pond hockey. And me being from Newfoundland, I grew up playing pond hockey because we didn't have, like, the big fancy arenas and all that stuff, or couldn't afford it, or they weren't nearby. So I grew up playing it on a pond. And, like, with a lot of games too, like Rocket League, for example, is all about like customization, like customizing your car or whatever you're driving. So they're offering that now for this game. So I think that adds a little more fun element to it. So I'm kind of curious how it's going to work. Sometimes like EA, like with this, they need an extra year to rehash and make it better. So if it sucks this year, well, it'll be better next year. But I'm hoping that I'm definitely looking forward to EA SHL and Hockey Ultimate Team. That's usually where I spend most of my time. But I'll give the other ones a try, and it looks like they might all work together. So I'm just curious about that, and it's always good to see Wayne Gretzky brought back into it because he is one of the greats. So, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to getting more information. What are your guys' thoughts on this game?
Steve, what do you think?
Well, I'll be buying it. That's about the extent. There's nothing exciting that I saw that was like, oh, I'm so excited to go back into it. It's like, I'll be excited for hockey, and I guess we'll play EA SHL, and that's about it. But I'll carry you guys, don't worry, because remember, I'm your all-star. greatest thing since sliced bread on your team.
Whatever you tell yourself, man.
Yeah. What I hate about these announcements, Graham, is that, man, they do the same thing with Madden, where the game's coming out in less than 3 months, and they just show you, like, they don't show you any gameplay at all in the trailer. None. No. And it's a little disappointing. I'd rather see that. I don't want to see all the cutscenes and all that stuff. I just don't. And it's great that you're bringing in new modes. I'd rather you perfect the ones that you have, to be honest. But it's cool that they're bringing in some new stuff, and hopefully it's good. I'm hopeful.
Hopefully they get icing right. That's one of the first things I'm going to look for.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a game that's real, and it's a thing, and it's coming out September 14th. So the real reason I brought up NHL, guys, is because we have an announcement that we wanted to make, and it's based on just kind of the feedback from our community this past week, which has been fantastic. So we kind of threw out the question to our community of, hey, do you guys have any interest in doing like tournaments, community tournaments for sports games? And yeah, we got a lot of chatter out of that, saying absolutely we would. So here's what we're going to do. Next month, we're going to have a preseason tournament for Madden, and it's going to be played through Madden 18. And we'll do it right about when training camp starts, so about 3rd or 4th week of July. And we're going to open up registration for that, sign-ups in our community in the next couple of weeks. So if you haven't joined yet, please do that through all the ways that we mentioned earlier, or if you're listening on any app, you can just click any of the links in the episode description. But we're going to do a preseason tournament for Madden. We're going to do one for NHL, and that's at minimum. We might incorporate another game if we can get the interest there. Then we're also going to do tournaments for the new games starting later in the year. So Madden, I'm thinking we'll do it probably right about when the playoffs start in the NFL, like first week of January. And NHL will probably do it a little bit later as well. We'll give everybody a chance to get the game, whether it's Black Friday sale or you get it at launch or whatever. Get it, play it, kind of get good at it, and we'll play a tournament to see who the winner is. Well, prizes for all these, by the way, for the winners. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a cool way to engage the community. So we're looking forward to that, and we're going to be bringing that, like I said, we'll do the Madden preseason tournament starting next month. So looking forward to putting that together and seeing everybody out there kind of interact with each other a little bit, play some games with each other. Hopefully you meet some people that you end up playing games with going forward. So that'd be awesome. Thoughts, guys?
Yeah. I'm super excited for this. But also, if you guys have any other games you think will be good for a tournament, so you want to see play, just join our community and tell us. Someone in Twitch right now wants a tournament for Mario Tennis, and if we have enough people, like, I'm totally down to get one going. And I know Smash Bros is coming out, and that'd be fun. And Rocket League, we could do. There's a lot of things we could do this for. So join our community and tell us, because we shoot from the hip sometimes because we need feedback. So we want to hear your thoughts and what you guys want. And that's so yeah.
Yep, and we're not limiting it to just the sports games, everybody. And it might not be tournaments, but we're going to put together community plays for the other types of games out there. So we had talk about Battlefield 5 and other types of games that, maybe Fallout when that comes out. So we'll be putting together events for people to get together and play. We are a community that focuses on being positive. We have really awesome people in our community. Nobody craps on each other, and everybody's cool to each other. So please come join if you haven't yet. And it's a way to meet some cool people to play games with. And I know some of the people in our community have already done that, and have met some good people that they now play with on a pretty regular basis. So, in fact, Steve, that's how you became part of the show, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So yeah, we absolutely do that, and as long as the interest is there, I see somebody mentioning Fortnite right now. Oh boy.
Never heard of that game.
but yeah, as long as the interest is there, we'll put it together and make it happen. So, but we look forward to doing that in the next few months. I think it's another cool way to engage the community, and it's not like we'll have one a week, but I'd like to do one every month to 6 weeks. I think that'd be awesome, and just do kind of different things that encompass all the different types of games that are out there. So, but we're going to start with Madden preseason tournament next month. All right. Up next in the news, GameStop's new CEO has already stepped down after 3 months in role. And there's talk now about GameStop potentially being sold, or they're in talks of looking to sell. And I think this ties into something that is worth talking about on, coming on the heels of E3. Like, where's gaming headed in the future? Is gaming headed to a place where GameStop's not viable anymore? And I don't just want to answer that question, but where's gaming headed in general? And Steve, I want to go to you first here. What are your thoughts, A, on the GameStop part, and then where's gaming going?
Well, I mean, I used to love GameStop. I used to go there all the time. I took I took a lot of advantage of all their deals, their trade-in deals, or their buy a used game, play for 7 days, and you could return it and get your full money back. All of that, and I even won. I don't know if you guys know this. I think I've told you guys this before. I won one of their epic prizes, and got sent to me Megadeth down in San Diego, and rode in Dave Mustaine's car and got a signed guitar. It was awesome, and I mean, I was all from GameStop. That was really cool. So I'll miss them if they do go away. I do like purchasing some things from them, but I've honestly gone away from physical games, and I never thought I would. I've been buying mostly digital games, especially with game sharing. They have some good sales on these digital games, and you can kind of split costs by game sharing with another person. So I understand why GameStop's struggling so much. I'm actually surprised though that they might not exist, considering Best Buy kind of got rid of their gamer club thing. That was arguably better than GameStop's pro member deal. The Best Buy by my house was terrible, so I never switched. I don't know. I'll miss GameStop, but Amazon's awesome because you can get stuff delivered right to your house if you want physical stuff. So I think that's what's really killing GameStop and Best Buy. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, Graham, what do you think, Graham?
Yeah, no, I agree with Amazon. Up here, it's not GameStop, it's EB Games, but it's essentially the same thing. It's just a Canadian version. But I do enjoy going to these stores. To be honest, I haven't went for a while now. Last time I think I went, I might have went since then, but I went for the Nintendo Switch midnight launch, and I picked up Breath of the Wild at the same time. So it's great for that, but like I said, with Amazon, the last few games I've ordered, physical copies, has actually been from Amazon, because if you have Prime, you get a 20% discount. So unless it's a game that I want right away, but now you can get it digitally, but say if it's a collector's edition or something like that, well then I might go there. But overall, yeah, it seems like it's being phased out, and people are just not leaning that way. And it's nice too, you could resell it and get value like that. But now people are coming up with programs where you can sell your digital copy or something like that, which is kind of strange how that works out. But we know how originally Microsoft's gonna be we're just gonna be an online, we're just gonna have no disk drive, and people went absolutely crazy, and the internet blew up, and people are boycotting it. So they're okay, no, we will bring back physical discs. But I can see it eventually being phased out. But another thing too is people with internet that isn't that great, which is being less common. But if you get these 4K and HDR packs, and these games are quite massive. But yeah, I can see EB Games, but I can see physical games would be ordered online. They won't get rid of physical games, but you just won't be able to get it at a store like EB Games or GameStop.
So Graham, who were you saying said no disk drive?
Microsoft.
Did they ever actually say that?
No, I don't think they did.
So. So I just want to clarify. I don't want to correct you, but
okay, it was just online only then.
Yeah, it was DRM
online?
stuff.
Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought there was mention too of games would be just digital, something like that.
No, it was just that it was always online. So they were gonna verify through Xbox Live that you actually own the game on a pretty consistent basis, at least once every 24 hours. Okay. So you had to be online once a day to be able to play your games.
Okay, yeah, I apologize. And another thing too I can bring up as well. It was a while ago where every game that I owned digitally, I did not have access to on my Xbox. And that was super frustrating. So I could imagine if someone didn't have any physical discs whatsoever and everything was digital, and you get locked out from games that you've spent money on. I could see that being really frustrating, and I think it does like bring in a bit of a paranoia that some people will not go digital only for that reason, because they're like, well, I don't physically own it, and I could like lose it or lose access to it. So I understand that part of it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know. I think one of the things that's gonna keep people going in the physical realm is data caps, which are becoming more and more common here in the U.S.
Yeah.
So
I almost wonder if some like startup is gonna figure out a way where you can basically, like, the business model is you bring like a flash drive in, right? And you plug it in and you like get the game on your flash drive and you transfer it over to your Xbox, and like due to licensing you still have to, have the license to play it. But I mean, that's kind of a reach. I don't think that's possible now that I think about it, but I feel like situations like that might happen more. Or I wonder how that's going to work, because I know, Tyler, you have a data cap. I do. So I just delete and download willy-nilly.
Yeah.
But if, I'd be kind of upset if that was ever the case, that I had a data cap. So yeah, I'm curious how that's going to go. I know Steam, like, basically PC gaming has been all digital for a good 7 years now.
Yes.
At the minimum. Where, you can still buy physical copies, I think.
Yeah,
or
you can.
It might just be boxes with codes from the store, to be honest. So I don't know where they're going, but I feel like digital is kind of the direction it's been heading for 10 years now.
Well, let's be honest. Most computers now come without a disk drive in them. Well, maybe not most, but some do.
Yeah, a lot.
So they're heading that way. And somebody in Twitch just mentioned, like, they pay an extra amount to get unlimited internet. Now, the biggest provider in the country, Comcast, doesn't offer that.
That's crazy.
Well,
so
in my opinion,
they don't offer.
Canada.
Yeah, they don't offer the extra, because if Comcast offered or Xfinity or whatever the hell they want to be called, but if they offered like a plan where you can just pay a little bit extra to get unlimited, to be able to download, like, I would get that in an instant. I had it before I moved. I just paid the extra, and you had to be at a certain tier for download speed, and you got unlimited, space. So I did that there, and I was hoping the same thing would be true here, and it's not. All you can do is pay to get a faster speed. And I'm hoping they transition and go to that. But I think, and I want to get your thoughts on this, guys, but I think the thing that's really scaring GameStop right now, and GameStop's tried to reinvent themselves numerous times in the last few years. Because, Graham, I'm happy you haven't been to one in a while, because the coolest thing they have is like gaming memorabilia now.
Yeah.
And you would be broke, like you'd be homeless. You just you'd be on a street corner, like in a sleeping bag with a bunch of Zelda statues around you.
Well, I have some cool stuff at least, right?
But I think it's the subscription model that's really scaring them. Because now we've seen Game Pass, and Game Pass has been hugely successful for Xbox. We see PlayStation Now, and they're going to change their model a little bit to offer the download option like Game Pass here in the next few months. We see EA going from, they already offer access on PC and on Xbox One, but now they just introduced Premiere, where you get the brand new games at launch for, just for being part of that program. I think that's what's really hurting it. And I'll be honest with you guys. I want to hear what you guys think too on both these things, but I've probably bought 5 or 6 games physically on the Xbox One. The rest have been digital, all of them. So where are you guys at? Like, do you think subscription models are playing a huge role? And how many games do you actually buy physically at this point? Steve, go ahead.
Well, actually, it's funny. I just sold 6 games to GameStop to buy Mario because I didn't need them because I had them digitally or I bought them digitally and just like took the like $5 loss so I could have them digitally. Because I'm not gonna lie, like changing this is gonna sound so lazy because it is. Like changing discs is a reason I don't play games sometimes when I had it physically. Like I'd be like there'd be a movie in or something in my Xbox and it'd be like, well, I don't want to get up and put The Witcher 3 in. I'm just gonna play something else. And that's kind of why I've been going the digital route. There's not many things I'll buy physically for, like unless they come with some cool memorabilia or art books or something. Like Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm buying physically on PlayStation, but then again digitally on the Xbox because I'm a crazy person. And the only reason I'm buying physically is so I get the art book because that art book looks sweet. And you know, I might probably not though buy the collector's edition of Red Dead, the one that doesn't come with the game for all the extra loot, and then buy the game digitally. But yeah. I have not bought many physical games recently. And the only reason I have God of War, which was the last physical game I got, well, Switch games. So Switch games don't count because that hard drive's like 5 gigs, so I don't count that. Mm-hmm. So Mario is the last one I bought. But the only reason I have God of War physically is because it came with the PS4 Pro. If it would, I would have preferred it come digitally, to be honest. So I'm going the digital route. It's just more convenient. Especially considering that like installing the game is the same size as downloading it digitally. There's no difference.
Yeah.
In fact, I bought digital games and I don't need to re-download it because like I had the physical copy and you can just start playing it. I know it's the same thing. So that's why I'm just like, physical. It's a pain in the butt to have to drive to GameStop after work when you could just come home. You could download it like before you go to work and come home and be ready to play. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, so, and Graham, before I send it to you, like first of all, I think Sky in Discord just hit it perfectly. He's like, you know, I look at a disc, a total of like 4.7 feet from me, and he's like, I don't really want to play Battlefield. And that's the thing. It's like we live in the era of convenience. And we're kind of trained. Like, you don't even have to go to a restaurant anymore. Like, there are multiple services that will go pick up the food for you and bring it to you. Even for restaurants that don't offer delivery themselves.
I know, it's making me broke and I need to stop doing it. But...
like, and me too. The only thing, like, making us still get out of our house for any sort of entertainment anymore is the fact that you can't watch movies on your TV the day they release in theaters. Like, that's about it. And I think that's not far away from coming either.
I was about to say, I mean,
you kind of can.
We're a video game show, but that's going to come eventually, and that's going to be the day when I just, like, stop leaving my house for anything other than work.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's funny, like, you know, one of the biggest movies, you know, out there this year is Deadpool, the second one, and, you know, maximum effort is the thing there, but we're a culture of minimum effort now, right? Like, the less effort we have to put into doing something, the better, and the more we praise it.
Yep.
So, digital games are just a reflection of that, I think, and I'm guilty. I buy almost everything digital. Graham, how about you?
Yeah, no, I'm kind of the same way, and it is nice having all these games on your hard drive, and then you could just, like, if you want to decide what you want to play, you're not, like, looking through all your physical copies. You just, like, hit your home button and you go to My Games, and then you select which one. And, like, if, say, like, a friend comes on and they want to play something else, I'm like, well, let me just go get my disc. It's like, nope, it's on my hard drive, so I don't even need to get up. But, yeah, like, it is kind of lazy, but it's kind of convenient as well. But, yeah, like, back in the day, like, I used to always get physical discs and stuff like that, but I'm definitely getting away from it. Like I pre-order or order things off like Amazon that I necessarily didn't want to play right away, but I'm like, well, I get for 20%, I'll get it that way. But if there was no like discount for getting the physical disc, I would probably get no physical disc. Like like as Steven mentioned before with the Nintendo Switch, I do have a lot of physical copies of that, and I bought a few digital ones as well. But I kind of like collecting the physical ones, and like the Nintendo one usually comes with a book or maybe some stickers or whatever, right? Some little cool stuff like that. But you know, it's definitely getting away from it. Yeah, like I don't even need a display shelf anymore. I just keep it all on my hard drive.
Yeah, my display shelf has been mostly for 4K movies that I've been
Yeah.
just buying up, and Disney movies. Oh, I love my
So
Disney
I'm still
movies.
like, I'm a collector. I absolutely am, and I have a way too large of a movie collection. It's ridiculously stupid. And the other thing is books. I have a pretty good collection of books by now that I have as well. And I used to be the same way, Graham, with games. And I'd look at them like on the shelf or whatever, and like count them and like, oh, I have like this many games now, and that's cool. Like it looks like a cool collection. I've gotten away from that because the power of me saying, wait, I can switch from Battlefield 1 to Master Chief Collection to NHL to, whatever, without having to move a muscle, basically. I can do that? Really? That outweighs having anything on a shelf to show off to somebody for me. And I think that's true for most people.
Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword because like I would not be spending as much and buying as many games if I had to actually get in my vehicle, drive to like a GameStop. Because like if I'm on like my iPad or I'm talking to you guys or like I'm they're like, oh, check out this game. And then I go on my Xbox or whatever and I see the game. I'm like, well, for $20 I could have that right now.
Oh,
and then I
yes.
buy it. So it's kind of a double-edged sword because a lot of these games that I bought like kind of on a whim or something like that, I might not even like finish. But if I actually physically went and bought it, there's a good chance that I will finish it.
Yeah, I'm with you. The sad part for gamers here is that, like, the data caps, back to that, they're not in place because of video games. They're in place because of one company and one company only, and that's Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why data caps exist, because everybody's kind of gone away from cable, or at least a lot of people have, especially the younger generations, and they've gone more to the streaming service as a way to, get that entertainment. And that eats up a lot. Not like it really costs the big companies anything that provide internet, but they take advantage of it how they can. It's just like how, insurance companies, for whatever reason, run a credit check on you. They do it because they can. So, I just want to turn back to you guys real quick before we move on the subscription service. Like, how big of a role do you think that plays before we kind of move into the next topic?
I think GameStop might have seen, the message in the stars or whatever you want to call it. That subscription is the model that's going. That's where gaming is going. I wonder how quickly they're gonna sell out because they said that they expect PlayStation, like the next PlayStation X Xbox, to sell like hotcakes or whatever, and be gobbled up. And I think that's correct. And the question is whether they'll be around to see it. And I mean, it sucks because I don't like seeing people lose their jobs. And I've never had an issue with GameStop. I think people just make fun of GameStop, because it's the cool thing to do on the internet. They've always been reasonably good to me. I never had an issue.
And people get after GameStop because they don't think they get enough for the games they trade in. And the bottom line is like, sometimes I'm disappointed in what I trade in, but we're not entitled to anything for something that we've already bought. And, if you want a lesson in being disappointed when you trade something in, go to college and trade in books.
Oh, gosh, yes. That's why I ran all my stuff. But that's a whole nother topic. But it's like, it's these people never heard of supply and demand. If they have 50 copies of, NCAA 2008 and its NCAA 2009 game just came out, like, they're not going to pay more than like 50 cents for it. Okay.
Right.
Like, you think you deserve more, then sell it on Craigslist.
Well, and plus the selling used games is how they make their money. They don't make much on the new games. They make everything on the used games. So they need to buy cheap and sell with a good margin. And that makes total sense. That's good business. And the fact that you're getting something. And they run all these promos, like if you trade in like 5 or 6 games at once, you get an extra so many % or whatever. Yep. Like, those are good deals. And that's generally when I did it when I had a 360. But anyway, Graham, subscription models, like, are you for them? And do you think that this is playing a big role in what's happening right now?
Well, I think for like people like us who play a lot of games and like get the latest and greatest, subscription is a great way for us to save money. Like, I'll be honest with you, this Origin premiere got me thinking about picking up these games on the PC. Like, if it wasn't for like playing like online with you guys, I would probably not even think twice about it, because it's a great deal and you get access to Anthem and Battlefield, and these are games that I'm 100% gonna play. So if you guys making me, force me to go on my Xbox, and now I gotta buy it for the Xbox. But no, for sure, like, I would love for that service to be brought to the Xbox. If it did, I would save so much money and I'd be so happy. Like, I'm happy anyways, but at least I'd be saving money and be happy. So yeah, like, I see that probably the way of the future once they can hash out maybe a good price. But to me, it's a great deal. And overall, if I'm gonna save like $50 or at least $50, that's enough for me. Like, I will jump on board with that for sure.
Okay. Cool. So I want to move on because I want to hit on one other thing before we move into releases, which is, after E3, we saw a lot of the, the stories like the fallout of E3 and all the stuff that we were seeing. And funny I say fallout because we didn't see a ton of stories about Fallout, which is coming out this year. We saw a ton of stories about Cyberpunk and Death Stranding and all these games that are a long way away. So, yes. I want to ask you guys, if you really want to see games at E3 that are just years away, and there's, speculation on when Cyberpunk might actually come out. Some people are saying as early as next year. I really doubt that. But that's beside the point. Do you really want to see these games that are not coming out for years? So, Graham, let's go to you first.
Okay. The prime example for me is Death Stranding. Like, yes, you can announce it that it's coming. That was like 3 years ago. But then every other E3 is like, okay, not only are we going to show you no gameplay or little gameplay, but we're going to keep showing you a different trailer, and you're still not going to have an idea of what this game is about. And me personally, I'm upset. Like, I don't get upset all the time, but right now I feel like I'm just going to say, no, I'm done with Death Stranding. Even when it comes out, I'm like, no, because I feel like I'm being like just messed around right with now. So, and it seems to be a lot of games are doing this, like Cyberpunk. Yes, we know it and all this stuff, but how many times are we going to see a little tidbit of a trailer, but it's so far out? Because there's so many games that are like in my vision right now that are coming out either late this year or early next year that I'm excited for. So I can't get excited for these games I can't wait 3 years down the road to play this game. Like, who knows what's going to happen in 3 years? Anything can happen. So yeah, I think I'm kind of tired of it. Even like Metroid, which I'm kind of glad Nintendo didn't like try to just show off something, even if it's like coming 2 years or 3 years down the road. Like, it's cool to announce it. Let us know. We're excited. But I don't need to keep seeing it. Like, even like Last of Us, we don't know when that's coming. And I don't know. To me, I think there's enough out there that they don't need to dwell on this. Like, it's good to announce it, but don't keep teasing me. And like, I don't want to get excited for something that's coming out in 3 years. And that's my opinion.
Okay. Steve, how about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Like, I think Cyberpunk is coming out next year. I know a lot of people think it's coming out in 2020, and it might be. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm right. But I am, like, pretty hyped for this game, and it might be more than a year away. Like, that's depressing. I mean, that's not even that long in E3 standards, but Death Stranding is. And PlayStation has a nasty habit of, announcing a game and showing it 5 years out. And then, 2 years later it gets delayed and it's still 5 years out. And that is kind of annoying. Because, like, I don't like getting hyped because, then I don't want to play stuff that I have. Because, I'm just waiting for the next game, and then that comes, I play for a little bit, and it's like, okay, it's the next game. So I don't like them showing games that are so far away. And even Cyberpunk, I'd prefer a release date, like a concrete release date, so I know when it's coming. and then I can like tailor my hype levels. Because I am hoping it's coming next year, and if it doesn't, I'm gonna be a little disappointed.
Okay. I'm sort of split on this. My first reaction is to say, yeah, I hate it when they show these games that are years away. But I'll be honest with myself. Which game did I get most excited about? Was Halo Infinite. Just to see that.
But they showed it, right? What if every E3 they just show another video where someone's standing in their position holding the helmet? Like, are you still going to get excited every time?
Okay, maybe not, but I know that game's not coming out until 2020 at the earliest. Like, it's not. So, I shouldn't get that excited about it, and Steve's right. Like, it makes me, then I see, like, Battlefield 5, and I'm like, okay, great. Even though I know I'm getting Battlefield 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. But E3 is also meant to energize fan base. So I think, the biggest things talked about coming out of E3 were, the Fortnite controversy, but that aside, with Sony. But that aside, you've got Cyberpunk, Death Stranding, and the next Xbox console. Like, nobody's talking a ton about the stuff that's actually coming out this year, with the possible exception of Fallout.
Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that too, but when you look through the news stories, like, you really don't see a whole lot regarding that compared to those other three.
Well, unless you go on Twitter, because we know that was one of the biggest talked about things during E3.
Well, yeah, and then that's another side point, like, before we wrap this up, like, who really won E3? Like, we all said Microsoft, and the general consensus, I think, in the gaming world was Microsoft, but, man, you look at the Amazon pre-orders, Steve, like, you talked to us about that a few days ago. It's all Nintendo. Like,
yeah.
8 out of the 10 or 7 out of the top 10 are Nintendo?
Yes.
And then on Twitter, it was kind of the same deal. Like, 8 of the top 10, Graham, were Nintendo stuff?
Yeah,
of all the
like
tweets
that.
about E3. So, man, Nintendo did a good job getting their base energized. Awesome. Great for them. But the thing is, too, they actually had games that were sort of coming out soon. That they were actually able to speak to with release dates. There's something to be said for that. So, all right, anything else on that, guys?
Nope.
All right, let's go ahead and move into releases for this week. So this week on Xbox, you've got Nier Automata on the 26th and Crash Bandicoot on the 29th. And I know Steve's going to mention on PlayStation as well, but you can get The Crew 2 on the 26th. So that's a big release coming out. And then Games with Gold, you can get Smite on the 16th through July 15th. Assassin's Creed Chronicles all month. And then on 360, Lego Indiana Jones is available as well as part of Games with Gold. So let's head on over to Steve for PlayStation.
Yeah, as Tyler mentioned, The Crew 2 is coming on the 26th, and as well, you get Lumines Remastered, and for free, you can get The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. Both of those are on the 26th, too. And then for PS Plus games, you can get Trials Fusion and XCOM 2 still. Graham, Nintendo.
Yes, Nintendo actually has some big releases next week, where we'll be getting Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle Donkey Kong Adventure. Now, that is an expansion to Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That will be available June 26th. And also, on a different day, the 29th, you can get Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, and also Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Both of those are June 29th.
All right. So let's go ahead and move into questions from the community. So I want to I want to start with one. I want to make sure that I read it exactly right here. So, and I want to bring it up because it's funny how this was worded, because it's clearly a new listener. We thank you for coming to listen. But clearly a new listener because they don't know Steven all that well yet. So the question, it came from CastBox, actually, in the comments. And this is Nick Navarra. So I usually don't ask the questions here, but I'm going to this time just because I don't want Steve to, celebrate himself too much here. Does the gentleman which is why clearly he hasn't been listening too long. Does the gentleman who's the Kingdom Hearts fan read the manga books? I looked at them. The art is great.
Yeah, I feel like at one point in my life I heard that those things existed, but I had honestly completely forgot about it until Tyler told me your question the other day. And I'm not gonna lie, I went on Amazon and purchased the 2 books for the first game, and those get delivered tomorrow. And I'm excited to look through it because your comment on the art being great really sold me. Because like I said, I love the art books. I have them for Persona 5 and a lot of other games. And I love art books because they're the art for the game is really part of the masterpiece. Like without the art, like the games wouldn't be as good. And Kingdom Hearts is one of my favorite series, so I'm super excited to get them and look at the art and read through the stories, even though I've played the game so many times that I have the story memorized. But no, I appreciate that question because I mean it made me spend some money, but I'm excited to get them, and if I like them, I'll pick up the rest of the series at some point. So yeah, thank you.
Cool.
Because we all need help spending our money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Let's move to the question, Steve. What do you got?
All right, Chase Semenak on Discord asked, do you guys go for achievements/trophies?
I'll go first here. I used to be really, really into that, and not so much anymore. I mean, my gamer score on Xbox is over like 111,000. So at one point, I cared a lot about it. I don't as much anymore, and I think it's just because gaming's changed a little bit. Like so many of the games in last gen were sort of single player experiences where you play by yourself, and there were obviously alternatives to that, but there were many more that you just kind of played by yourself. So it gave you a reason to keep going back into the game and doing different things, and I really love the achievement system. Now this time around, I think it's more about the shared experience, and achievements aren't as big. Like it's still cool when one pops up. I'm like, oh, I got an achievement, but I don't sit there and grind for hours to go get one. Graham?
Yeah, as of now, sometimes I will go for achievements, like basically not exactly for the achievement, but say on Ravel, for example, of getting all the collectibles is an achievement. But basically, I just wanted to get all the collectibles. So sometimes I lean a little bit towards getting the achievement. But I do appreciate, too, like for Nintendo, how they don't have an achievement system. Good example is playing Breath of the Wild. Like, I can do certain things. I'm like, see, that would be an achievement on Xbox. But I'm like, but this game pretty much doesn't say, okay, if you do this, then you get awarded for it. Basically, it lets you do whatever you want. So I do appreciate that, like, Nintendo doesn't offer that and Xbox does. So if I wanted something where I'm specifically going for achievements, then I could play that. Or, like, Nintendo gives you more freedom. And another thing, too, about achievements is sometimes, well, probably a lot of time, people don't, like, achieve these achievements as the game intended. For example, like, Fallout 3 was, if you reach level 14 with bad karma, you will get achievement. And if you reach level 14 with good karma. So basically what I used to do, I used to save my game at that point, and then I'd do like something give me really bad karma, like pickpocket or something like that, and then I would level up to get that achievement. Okay. So I basically did that for like 3 achievements or something like that for each level, because I didn't think about it earlier on when I was like level 7 or something like that, and I already passed. So for that reason, it kind of takes away from the game. Like, they would rather you play through, but for time restraints, we don't have that time. So there is ways to go around it. But yeah, I don't focus too much on it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to be into it on the 360 days. Xbox, I'm definitely more into it on the Xbox than I'm PlayStation. I don't care about trophies. And that's only because I started on the Xbox, so that's way higher than PlayStation, and that's why I don't care. And I'm with Graham, kind of like, I like the fact that there is no achievement system or trophy system on the Nintendo Switch, because a lot of the times I'm like, hey, I kind of want to replay this game, but I'm like, I won't earn any new achievements. And so it's like, is it worth it? And it's stupid, but I do it. And like sometimes I pretend to care when I see the gamer score leaderboard for the month, especially when I have like a couple friends like ribbing me for being so far below them. But it's just kind of how it is. I'll never pass them. They grind achievements and I don't anymore. And I'm like, I get them. It's like cool. And I think part of it is because early on in the Xbox days, achievements just didn't unlock. There was a messed up system or something, and it just like you would unlock it, but it would take days to unlock it. And I just stopped caring at that point. Okay. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Cool.
All right. Next question from Unique Gaming on or Gamins on Discord asks, when Black Friday comes around, is it worth buying a PS4 Pro or a One X if you already have the original consoles?
Well, I don't know. It depends on whether or not they're going to be deeply discounted. I don't know that that's going to be the case, especially with the One X. I mean, we might see like another like $25 to $50 price reduction. But I guess what I would say is it depends on whether or not you're all in on getting the new console when it launches, as far as the next gen goes. If that's a yes, then maybe not. Maybe don't get the One X or the PS4 Pro. The other thing is, if you like 4K movies and you want a 4K Blu-ray player, the Xbox One X has one built in. So that would be the other thing there. As far as anything else goes, I don't know. I'm not sure the right answer there. It depends on kind of what you want to do next gen and how soon you want to get in on that. Graham?
Yeah, like if you're kind of on the fence whether like to get one, then you're almost better off waiting till Black Friday and just to see if it's a good deal. Like I wouldn't bank on it because you might not get what you're looking for, and you might not get the price drop, but you might get like bundles where they bundle in like some great games. So you basically just need to weigh your options. But if you're definitely looking to get one, that might be your better opportunity to get one at a good price.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of with Tyler. Like, I don't think there's gonna be that many discounts, and I feel like unless you really want a 4K Blu-ray player, like there's not that much of a benefit unless you really want the 4K experience and you can't wait. Because I feel like if you could wait 2 years and just save your money, is the new consoles will be here and they'll definitely be 4K. So, I mean, if you're happy with what you have, I'd say just save them. And I feel like the PS4 Pro is the more likely one to get a big discount, yes, or at least a big bundle. So look out for that. I'm with Ty. I don't think the One X is going to get a discount at all. If any, it's going to be maybe like $25.
Yeah.
So.
Or you could see a bundle or something that's
a bundle.
But that's about it.
Yeah. And if you really want the 4K Blu-ray player, just get the One S because you save some money, and there probably will be deals for that. All right. Next question. Got a donut. We kind of touched upon this already, but if you guys buy hard copies of games, how long do you wait before selling a game? Like, what is the sign you're ready to sell them? Do you keep them in case you want to go back and play them again?
It depends on the game, honestly. Like, when I buy sports games, when I buy them on disc, I'd always wait till the next one comes out and then trade it in. Other games, I kind of just know when I'm sort of done. But there were games where I regretted trading in because I kind of wanted to go back to it later, and that's one of the things that led me to digital. I don't have to worry about that anymore. So.
Me personally, I do not trade in games. I do not sell games. I buy the game. I keep the game as part of my collection. There's times when I have friends, I've lent them my system, and they sold off the games. And when I found out this, I was upset because I like those games. So, no, basically I keep the game just because it's part of my collection. It's a game that I bought and enjoyed and stuff like that. And I do have, collector's editions of some games. Obviously, I'm not going to get rid of those. But, yeah, no, I like accumulating the collections, and I don't trade them in, no.
Yeah, I'd say those aren't real friends, Graham. And I would have dropped them like a, whatever the saying is. But, I wait to sell them until I want to buy a new game. Really, when it's time to buy a new game, it's when I go in, or I wait for some deals or whatever have you to buy them. And recently, I've been going away from just getting hard copies of games in general because I always end up regret selling them, or not always, but a lot of the time I regret trading them in and then rebuying back. I've done that a couple times, so that's why I like buying digitally because it forces me to not trade them back in, and that's kind of why I go that route. Okay. All right. Leadbelly asks, which game series would you guys like to get a full reboot?
Graham, you want to take that one first?
Yeah, I don't really have a definitive answer, but I'll throw out one that I know for sure, and that is Mass Effect. I think with the planned exploration and driving around, do a full reboot and what you can do with it. And like people were angry with the ending of the trilogy, so maybe they could fix that. But I would definitely play that game, that reboot.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll go next.
Yep.
This is going to sound insane considering the series isn't done yet, but Kingdom Hearts is my answer. I would love to see the next game after Kingdom Hearts 3 be a completely like different series, like different characters. I mean, obviously you're going to have Disney Worlds just through the nature, but I'd like to see that game get rebooted after 3. And I think that's kind of the plan anyways, but that's my answer.
Okay. I'm going to go based on what we played last weekend, Steven, say Dead Space. I'd love to see a reboot of that.
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
Yeah. All
right. Next question from Brian on Facebook asks, other than gaming, what are your hobbies?
I'll tackle this one first. I love sports. I have dogs, so I enjoy kind of hanging out with them and picking up after them, and especially one of them. But yeah, and I like reading, so I have books, and as I said earlier, I'm definitely a movie fan, so I have a pretty good collection of movies, all that type of thing. So yeah, that's it for me. Graham?
For me, I'm a big fan of music. I play guitar, not very much as of late. And I also play drums. So I spend a lot of time doing that. I go to concerts, and I do play hockey twice a week. Basically, I'm never bored, and I like it that way. And yep.
And you sleep for like 2 hours a day.
Yes, I sleep for 2 hours a day. Sleeping is not a hobby because I don't do very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is I like playing chess in my free time. I like reading books, and I like watching movies. And as well, I don't play hockey, but I do play softball a couple times a week, and that's really awesome. And I love doing it. It's my exercise for the week.
Cool. All right.
All right.
One more quick one if we got one.
All right. Well, this is a Tyler specific one.
Okay.
Brittany asks, what made you decide to start a gaming podcast?
Oh boy, I'm gonna try to answer this quick. So I was kind of inspired. So I, obviously love video games, and I like listening to podcasts, and I would do those two in conjunction with each other. So a lot of times, especially with games where the volume's not a big deal as much, the sound like games like Madden or, basically any sports game, and some others where I could kind of turn down the sound on the game a little bit and listen to a podcast while I'm playing. Like, I loved doing that. And I love the communities and the shows that are built on kind of being positive. And there's so many out there where it's just people like yelling and screaming that everything sucks for like an hour or two once a week. And, I listen to people like Major Nelson and Ryan McCaffrey and Paris Lilly and Danny Pena as part of Gamertag Radio. And like and others too. I don't want to just like limit it to them. But they kind of inspired me to say like, hey, I'd love to see if we can create a community like that too. And the more I listened, the more I wanted to try it. So we kind of got together and we talked about doing it. And man, Graham, we first talked about doing this in December, November of 2015. And we did like 8 practice episodes, which I'm telling you, I like maybe as a Patreon thing one day, but like chances are those will never see the light of day because they are bad.
I'm pretty sure the first one didn't even get recorded. That's
why we did it, like to try it out, and like we screwed that up, or well, by we I mean me, the first time. So yeah, and then the other ones are there. I still have them saved, the audio files. In fact, I shared one with you guys, and by you guys I mean Graham and Steve, like a few months ago, so you could kind of listen to one of those practice ones. But yeah, it was it started rough. And I feel like we've gotten better as we've gone, and we've kind of learned some lessons, and we learned from other people. Like, having Paris Lilly on the show was awesome. Like, that's somebody that, in terms of podcasting, like, I've looked up to, he's just so naturally great at it. And yeah, so people like that have helped inspire us to not only do it, but to continue to improve and get better. So hopefully that's a good answer.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap this thing up, guys. So I want to tell you, get in and ask questions, everybody. If you haven't joined the community yet, do that. Go to the Gaming Hub forums on Facebook. Click on the link for Discord. Go to TXH Gaming Hub on Twitch. Check out the Discord link and Facebook link there. And submit questions to be right on the show. Because next week, we're not only doing our normal monthly giveaway, but Aaron Grunler, member of our community, awesome that he's doing this. But he is going to send a copy of Gears of War 4. Physical copy, by the way, relevant to what we're talking about tonight, but to the winner of that giveaway. So he has an extra copy sitting around, and not only has Gears of War 4, but it has all the other Gears games in there as digital downloads as well. So we'll do our normal monthly giveaway, plus that to our winner for June next week. So make sure you get in and be part of the community and submit questions. Anything else, guys, before we get out of here?
No.
All right.
Whether you're playing physical or digital games, enjoy whatever you're playing.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us for episode number 108. And I just want to say also, if you like the show and you want to support us, head over to patreon.com/gaminghub and help support us there. We're almost to the point where we're going to do a full $60 game giveaway every single month. We need just a few more people at that $5 or more level. If you go in and do that, we'll be giving away a full $60 or more game to people in those levels, and the only way you can be better is to be a $5 or more patron. So, guys, that's it for episode number 108. We'll be back next week with episode number 109. Until then, have a great week, everybody. Play some cool games. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care, everyone.